Welcome, everybody, to our Friday show, the fifth day of a week-long celebration where we've been celebrating Tracy Holladay and his 36 years of service at the Cabbage Patch. We've had a different audience group every day. Let's hear it from the audience. Wow. We've had family, friends, leaders, board members, everybody here each day to help celebrate you, and that's been a lot of fun.
It has.
We've also been giving out 36 bottles of wine, each bottle representing a year of your service to the Cabbage Patch. And throughout the week, we've been giving those out. And guess what? Today, you get to take them all home.
Woo!
So we know where the party's going to be, right?
Yeah, right. No, you can't have a whole lot of people together right now.
No, so it's all for you.
I guess it's all for me.
Well, doesn't that work out? And also, we've, just to remind you, if you've missed any of the shows this week, you can catch them on Facebook, on YouTube, and on cabbagepatch.org. And we've also had the word of the day, which we've had for the past. What's the word of the day, guys? That's right, there is no word. We're giving it out the prize today. Yeah, I tried to trick you. So every day we've had the word of the day, and I told you Vanna White was going to do the drawing for people.
I've not seen her yet.
Well, at the airport, she failed that COVID test. So we've got a replacement. It does. It happened this morning, and so our replacement, Miss Jennifer Scott, is here. So everybody that had the word of the day sent in their name with the word of the day, and we're going to draw it out for this package of prizes.
How many do I pick?
Just one. And we want to thank our sponsors, Commonwealth Bank, Glenview Trust, Hilliard Lyons, for making this gift bag possible. Tracy, who is the winner?
Khaki Ussery.
Hey! Congratulations. What?
You don't keep your promises very
Well,
well.
no, it's Friday. What are they going to do, fire me?
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Congratulations. You can call Jennifer and come get your prize. Now that we got all that, I told you there would be just a little confetti. So now I'd like to introduce someone to...
See, you broke my mask.
I broke everything. All Friday, right. Everything's just going to the heck in a handbag. Okay, so I'd like to introduce some people to come up and talk. Bob and Marita Willis, if they could come up. Bob and Marita have they've known the Cabbage Patch for years.
Yeah.
They came here as children to the Cabbage Patch. They knew Miss Marshall, they knew Mr. Chin, obviously they know Tracy, and they've become successful businessmen in their right. They are now semi-retired, and they have a special presentation for you. Take it away.
What's up from the Willises, Tracy?
Some of my favorite people.
We'd like to start out with just a short song. Maybe some of you may know it, but and if not, we'll sing it later.
We learned it here at the Patch. Not only did we learn it, but we sung it, and today we understand it. Oh my God, when night in eyes of wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made. I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
Then sings my soul,
My
Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. little did we know, as kids coming to the Cabbage Patch, before we had a meal, we would always sing this song. And it's one of our fondest memories is that the Cabbage Patch was teaching us, even though we didn't recognize we were taught. We were just ready to eat. And we knew this was part of the process,
Sing
right?
for your supper.
One of the good things they had were those sandwich cookies. You know, we got the cheap sandwich cookies at our house, but when we came here, we had the best sandwich cookies.
So we wanted to share that with you. Tracy, look at what you've done. I know you have, but when you walk around and look at all the things you've done, it's a God thing. Our world is a better place because of you, Tracy. And when we look back over the last 50 years,
50?
oh, sorry.
36,
Sorry.
36.
30, my bad. It's still a long time. We're honored to close out this week-long party.
And we know that's very difficult because as you mature, 5 days of partying, wow, that's a long
Lunch,
time.
though. That's helpful, and we haven't cracked any of those bubbles. So even though I still have a lot of answering to Miss Marshall to do, someday.
We are Cabbage Patch Kids.
You are.
Our children are Cabbage Patch Kids. Our family members are Cabbage Patch Kids. Our friends are Cabbage Patch Kids. We say once a Cabbage Patch Kid, always a Cabbage Patch Kid. I've had the fortune of also being a board member here. And I remember when I came and I would go home, I used to tell my mom, everything we do starts out with prayer. When I became a board member, I understood. Prayer makes it work.
We've done everything from, I remember we were helping the St. James Art Festival with the fundraiser to benefit the Cabbage Patch, and we were so happy that we were included there. Street ball. We remember the days back street ball. We were street ball monitors.
Yes, you were.
And I played a couple of years.
Oh,
I guess that's what you could call it. Maybe I
Is
participated.
that the older than this?
Probably was.
I actually had one.
But there's just so many great opportunities to promote the Cabbage Patch. I mean, we talk about the Cabbage Patch to people coming into the city, to other board members and other organizations that we're involved in. And our hearts are with the Cabbage Patch. So I don't care if you're the guy on the corner or a community leader, we're talking about the Cabbage Patch.
and Bob, what about the youth tennis program that we had the opportunity to do at Central Park in memory of Rashawn? And we thought about where are we going to get kids from? Well, we're at Central Park. Where do we get those kids from?
Cabbage Patch. So we came over and talked with, I think it was Mr. Napier at that time, and told him what we were trying to do, and we arranged our schedules and invited the kids to come out and we teach them tennis, right? And it was just a great experience of giving back, anywhere from teaching them how to, because they all know how to play, never play, but I know how to play, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
So from knowing that you need to wear tennis shoes instead of sandals when you come on the tennis court, to the boys and girls letting them know that when they came back, wear shorts with pockets so you could put a tennis ball in the pocket. Little things that we love to expose the kids to. And we had parents get involved. They want to know how to play tennis, and it was just wonderful. And the staff at the Cabbage Patch was excellent. They brought the kids over. We see them coming over the hill.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, sometimes it would be 40 kids.
Yeah.
And they would just be marching over the hill to play tennis, and we would always get geared up, say, okay, here they come.
Just like the Cabbage Patch taught us, so in so many direct ways and so many indirect ways, we had the opportunity to use this tennis. When Jerry Abramson was the mayor and he found out what
I
we was
remember that.
doing, one day he rides his bike down, and then we just sit the kids down, and Jerry Abramson talked to them from his status of being the mayor, and we had all these kids around. One Saturday, we had the policemen that take care of this community, and all the kids were around. Wouldn't that be so great today, that if we can have those conversations with our youth and the police officers that take care of our community? You know, the Patch was our home away from home. We lived in Park Hill Housing Projects, which is down on 12th and Hill Street. We walked every day to the Patch. Never, ever missed a day. When the Patch was open, we were here. Bob is the oldest of 5. I'm the second oldest of 7. 4 of my brothers and sisters came, and I think 3 of you all came, Bob. We went to week camp here, and I remember when you go to week camp, you have to bring all your clothing and everything. You know, majority of you all probably had luggage. We had a pillowcase. And it was just so fun, because not only did we come to the Cabbage Patch, but the Cabbage Patch was a home away from home for many of us that lived in the housing project. So it gave us so many life lessons, so many great memories, so many friendships that we have today, and what great exposure it offered us the opportunity outside of our neighborhood.
Yeah, that exposure is key and very important to me, and I want to talk about it and elaborate it a little bit more. Because you see, youth living in low-income inner city neighborhoods like ours back in the 60s, we were exposed to violence, which leads to aggressive behavior. And the Cabbage Patch helped us to work through some of our anxieties, some of our fears.
Trauma.
And in our environment, our mothers, because Marita and I were both raised by our mothers were stressed out because of just life. And when Mama got stressed out, she sometimes took it out on the kids. So, you know, our parents needed their space and time, we needed our space and time, and the Cabbage Patch provided us with that space and time. And
we're so grateful.
we wouldn't be where we are today without that.
Barb, remember if you stayed on the good list at the Cabbage Patch?
I
And
never
we had this-
was on the good list, I don't think.
Oh, wow. I was on the good list because it got more exposure to great opportunities. You know, if you were on the good list, you get invited to go to the Cincinnati Reds game. You would get invited to go to Fort Knox at
That's
Thanksgiving.
right. I can remember riding in that truck now.
You could get to go to Spring Mill and learn how to canoe.
Absolutely.
So it was, and
Absolutely.
what's the name of that camp?
I think it was Camp Piamingo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Exposure outside our neighborhood.
So
which
did we
opened
have,
our
we learned how
eyes.
to do, what's those, oh, shucks. I'm 65, Tracy.
I got you beat.
Yeah. Oh, s'mores that you,
Oh, with the marshmallows and the chocolate.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Still do
on the
that.
campfire, yeah.
and campfires. I mean, it was
Yeah.
our first time ever sitting around a campfire. So we had to stay on the good list, because if you didn't, you got put out of the patch at that particular time. And then your mom would know, and then our moms would come up here, and ooh, that wouldn't be good.
No.
The Patch taught us conflict resolutions, and we use that today. It provided us a safe place to play and to grow, and helping us to prepare for our future. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, Bob and I both lived in Park Hill. We lived on the same porch. We lived on the same porch. There's 2 apartments on a porch. We've been married for 44 years. We had 2 wonderful children, Ratanya and Rashawn, which are both deceased now. And now we have 2 great grandguys and a wonderful son-in-law. Many of our stories today include some parts of the patch. I remember when Tanya was in her master's program at U of L, and she had to do an internship at a daycare, and the daycare was here. I called, can I speak to Tracy Holladay? It's Marita Willis. Hey, Marita, what's up? Everything's good. Tracy, Tanya needs to do an internship. Oh, no problem. Tell her to call me. We'll work it out. Thank you. She is a Cabbage Patch Kid. I remember when Rashawn, he was ready to come home, but we didn't think he was old enough. Can I speak to Mr. Chen? It's Marita Willis. I'll meet you in front of the patch. Sure, Rashawn could come here for daycare and for camp. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
We had the pleasure of coming to the patch. I took sewing lessons from Miss Marshall when you come up, and she sat in that room over there. Mr. Ditch, Mr. Chen, Mr. Cooksey, Mr. Napier, and Tracy, you are a part of that elite group of legends. Maybe we can get a street named after you, changed to 1413 Tracy Holladay Avenue.
It's got a nice ring to it. Maybe we can get that worked out. I used to ask myself, why did you legends, why did you do what you do? Why did you make time for us knuckleheads? Because a lot of times, you know, and when we were coming to the Cabbage Patch early, we weren't really exposed to white people. And for me, as a young boy, seeing somebody who didn't look exactly like me be present, listen to me, teach me, love on us, that always stuck in the back of my mind. Now I know. I get it. Thank you. Helping others really enhances the quality of our life and keeps us healthy and happy. Tracy, you're so cool, you're calm, you're articulate, you always are, man.
You're so handsome.
I'm so glad my wife's here.
I mean, you know, your beard, it's always so neat and trimmed. I mean, it's...
Maybe he's going to be a model in his next career.
I don't think so. I don't think so. That's going a little too far. But, you know, man, we love you.
Love you guys.
And we really appreciate what you've done. And when we grow up, we want to be just like you.
Tracy, what a legacy that will live on forever. What a gift. What a gift.
Street ball, the patch expansion. One of the ladies, as we was coming in, she was saying, oh, yeah, I'm sure you're familiar with this building and come down this alley a lot. And I remember the alley, but I told her, I said, when we used to come here, it was 2 rooms and a gym. So we don't really remember all of this. And I mean, just thank you for the expansion of the facilities, the educational center. When we were here, there was a little area that had books in it and magazines.
Is that the library?
Now it's a library. We've come a long way. One personal story I have is that when I was, of course, young and coming to the Cabbage Patch, there was one Thanksgiving that, since I was the oldest of 5 kids, Mom used to talk to me a lot. I didn't want to know this grown-up stuff. Right. But she would say, like, you know, things are tight, and we're not going to be able to have a big Thanksgiving meal like we used to. Of course, that saddened me. And there was maybe a day or 2 that passed by. We got a knock on the door, and a group of people brought us a Thanksgiving basket. Turkey, dressing, cranberries, green beans. I can remember it so vividly, and it was from the Cabbage Patch. How could we not say, yes, Corey, going forward? And that is part of us. That's part of our fiber, and we carry that, and we're so grateful.
The lessons we have learned here at the Patch are part of who we are and who we have become, leaders in this community, women and men of God, serving and being a part of the solution, not the problem.
The Willis family thanks you for your years of service. Enjoy your retirement, my brother,
Thank you.
and keep on serving.
And we are going to be,
Well, we're watching you, man. We're watching you.
and to close, in number 6, it says, Tracy, may the Lord bless you and take care of you. May the Lord be kind and gracious to you. May the Lord look upon you with favor and give you peace, and give you peace, and give you peace. In Jesus' name, we are so grateful to be a part of this. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
We are presenting a Bible. We get to present.
What Tracy will miss. Visits from alumni. Saying how the patch has changed their life. As you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was great. Yeah. Very well done. Going to be a model? What do you?
know, maybe
Actually,
my-
I thought
maybe
you
my
were.
toe or
Well, I actually had known that, if you know Tracy, you know he loves his motorcycles. We actually had a crew that was filming you doing some motorcycle tricks. I thought,
really?
I thought you were going to be like an Evel Knievel kind of guy. Anyway, Tim, can we see the video? That's just a 15-minute show.
I could do it, but Debbie won't let me.
Okay. So we're going to let you talk. This is the floor is yours. We're going to let you speak and give your rebuttal, as you like to say. Before we do that, I'd like to do a shout out to our production crew. These guys are doing a great job. Jennifer, Tim, thank you all. They have put in all the work. It's you would not believe the work behind the cameras to make these guys look okay. Tracy?
Greg. Well, I certainly am not interested in rebutting anything that the Willises said because they were so incredibly eloquent and heartfelt. So before, this doesn't count in my 10 minutes, by the way, because Jennifer said I had 10 minutes to sum up 36 years, which is a pretty challenging task. But there was going to be a big event, and now there are these events, which are a great substitute and an appropriate substitute in the situation that we're in. But my real wife said to me this morning, and I just thought it crossed my mind, but as usual, I'm the thinker and she's the actual get-it-done person. Should we get Jennifer some flowers? Because yes, it's taken a team of a lot of folks, but Jennifer's been working on this for a long time. She told me like a year ago, you're going to have 10 minutes. So I think she wanted to soak in really well. So my work wife had a suggestion, which I readily, or my real wife, for my work wife, because she loves the fact that, Jennifer is going with me to lots of things where she knew I'd be working the room, and we could split up and do twice the amount of work. So, Jennifer. A small token of our appreciation for all of this and for all of the support you've given me through 36 years. Well, 30 years almost. As I've said many, many times, in fact, I said it either yesterday or the day before, Jennifer's actually the brains behind the operation. I'm just the pretty face. So Jennifer said I had 10 minutes, and Greg said I could take all the time I want. But be not afraid. We're going to stay close to 10 minutes. Now, I could spend my time thanking the multitude of people that have played a pivotal role in making the Cabbage Patch and my career here successful. And that's a long list. But in terms of thank yous, I think I'm just going to simply say thank you to my wife, Debbie, to my children, Luke and Paul and Anna. They have loved me, they have held me accountable, and they have lifted me up for these 36 years. So if you've been watching the luncheons this week, as Greg mentioned earlier, we've had a word of the day, and technically there's not a word of the day, except there really is a word of the day because I have one. And that word is blessing. So the gospel teaches us that in losing your life, you gain it, and in giving, you receive, and in following God's way, you will be blessed. During my tenure here at the Cabbage Patch, I've had the opportunity to speak with hundreds, actually thousands of volunteers and board members and alumni and staff members and, of course, children and parents. And while they might not have specifically used the word blessing in describing their experiences here, it seems to me that that was the primary undercurrent. Consider these words from Joe Burks, Sr., made some decades ago. He said, if it had not been for the Cabbage Patch, I don't know where I would have been today. I know I wouldn't have gone to college. I would not be the Christian I am today had it not been for the influence of the Cabbage Patch. I just thank the Lord for putting the Cabbage Patch here for kids such as me. I think the blessing that this ministry, when I think of the blessing that this ministry has been to children and parents and college students, the blessing it's been to those who have served and those who do the serving, the blessing it's been to me. Friends, people need to be loved. And they need that love to be shown to them in very tangible ways, through words and actions of compassion and affirmation and encouragement, consistent messages that they are valued, that they are important, that they matter. Now, some of you know that I squeezed my first 4 years of higher education into 10. Don't tell even our college scholars that, I did some time in the military, sold advertising, real estate, managed a rent-a-car agency. Honorable pursuits, but something was lacking. Several of my friends went from college into seminary, and I would see them periodically, and they would say to me when we saw each other, "What about you, Tracy?" And it was really their encouragement, their belief in me, their recognition of the gifts they saw in me that caused me to pursue ministry as a career. I remember thinking, I want to invest my life in something that I believed has eternal benefit. I wanted to change lives. So here's the truth as I see it. Something's talking to me. Oh, okay. Voice of the Lord, I don't know. Saying my 10 minutes are up? Yeah. So here's the truth as I see it. Yes, I have given much, but I have received so very much. In seeking to be a blessing, I have been blessed. I have been surrounded with people who evidence love and commitment and compassion day after day, year after year. I have seen generosity in all its forms expressed in amazing ways. I believe I've seen snapshots of the kingdom of God. I've seen children who lack self-confidence stand in front of a group and sing a song or recite a poem or perform a dance and be heartily affirmed. That's a blessing. I've seen parents who struggle to put food on the table and a roof over their children's heads receive not just help with rent or food assistance, but receive love and encouragement and be shown you're not in this alone. That's a blessing. I've seen young people with intelligence and the passion and the tenacity to pursue higher education not only go to college, but graduate, many debt-free. That's a blessing. And I've seen volunteers and donors give of their time and their money and their passion joyfully and generously and consistently. That's a blessing. I had a friend, Scott Alexander, who unfortunately contracted cancer in his 40s. He fought it for about 10 years. And although we lived 800 miles apart, we would communicate periodically either in person or on the phone. And whenever I asked Scott how he was doing, even in the midst of his devastating illness, he invariably responded, "I'm a blessed dude." Now, some of you know that I've adopted that phrase, partly in memory of Scott, but mostly because I believe it's true for me. My staff gave me a gift, the staff, not my staff, it's the Patch staff, before I retired. It's a combo wallet, passport holder. On the front is embossed my initials, and on the back, you probably can't see it, it says, "Blessed Dude." I love this wallet. So frequently when people ask me, "How are you?" The normal, "How you doing?" I often respond by saying, "I'm a blessed dude." And the responses I get from people are very interesting. It takes them back a little bit, and then they sort of stop. And quite often they say, "Yeah, I really am too." It's a beautiful thing to be in touch with your blessedness. Our choir sings an anthem periodically based on the Beatitudes, and the chorus of that anthem says, "Rejoice and be glad. Blessed are you, holy are you. Rejoice and be glad. Yours is the kingdom of God." That's the message that we try to convey day after day, year after year, to the children, youth, and families that we are privileged to serve at the Cabbage Patch. It's the message I pray I have conveyed to all of you who make this ministry happen. Thank you for your part in making that possible. Friends, we are loved by God. We are blessed by God. And I implore you to pass that blessing on, because you have the power to bless. We have the power to bless. And people desperately need to hear and experience the good news of God's love and God's desire to bless them. Thank you.
standing ovation here
Oh, no.
from the studio audience. Oh, back to the mask. Couple more things we want to do before we wrap up today's final show. There's a message from the kids. We've got a quick little message. There we go. Tim, go ahead and play it.
Can I get an interpreter?
That's great. Thank you, Tim. Fundraising, let's talk quickly about that, about the Tracy Holladay.
I'm not doing it anymore.
Well, don't you want to hear what the totals are?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, yeah, you do want to, yes. Masks and glasses don't work, do they?
No, not very well.
So we announced the fund on Wednesday. Yesterday we had raised roughly about $76,000. Since yesterday's show at 12:30, we've raised an additional $20,000 for our grand total of $96,134. So we're only a few $1,000s short. So you can still send your pledge in or your money.
I think some more came in during the...
Some more came in. Fantastic.
231.
231. It's gone up. So we're almost there, guys. We can do it. We can make it. And what a great legacy that is to you.
And I believe that's going to be matched, right?
That is going to be a match, right? Absolutely. So there's a lot of money. That's fantastic. What a great job. We are almost done. I'd like to thank our audience. I'd like to do one quick thing. If everyone could hold up their glass, let's do a quick toast to Tracy. There you go. This is a little Irish toast. We'll share. May you always have a clean shirt in the morning, a fulfilling and fun day, and enough coins in your pocket to buy a bourbon at night. Cheers. Thanks to our audience. Thanks to our staff. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this week. We hope you had a fun time as much as we have. And again, congratulations, Tracy, for an amazing 36 years. Round of applause, everybody. Thank you.